Welcome to Voice of Guru Sivayogi Ayya, where the words are not mere sound but sacred silence in motion. Let these teachings guide you home, to the self, to peace, to truth.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a concept that, at first glance, might seem like a paradox, maybe even elusive: nothingness. Or as our source material calls it, Soonyam.
Exactly.
And our journey today, our mission really, is to unpack a rich, sometimes, well, pretty provocative conversation. It comes from a YouTube channel called Sivayogi.
Yeah, it's quite a source. Definitely challenges conventional wisdom, offers a very unique perspective.
It really does.
But what's fascinating right away is just the word sunyam, how it sparks such different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like the source points out, for, say, a middle-class Hindu family, it might conjure up these, well, unfortunate images of an evil spell.
Right, something negative.
Totally. But then for someone deeply knowledgeable, it simply means nothing or nothingness. That's the meaning we're going to dig into.
Okay, so this deep dive is definitely about going beyond those surface level takes.
Yeah.
We'll explore this idea the source brings up that 99 out of 100 people understand things only how they were taught, from a book or a lesson. But this source suggests a completely different way to actually grasp sunyam. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. Okay, so let's unpack this core idea right from the start. What is sunyam, according to our source? What are we actually talking about here?
Well, the source defines sunyam pretty directly. It's nothing, empty space, or the term used is videva.
POV, empty space.
Right. And it's not just emptiness. It's presented as the origin point.
Mm-hmm.
The source says, in the very beginning, there was a big bang, a planet named Nebula. The usual scientific narrative.
Okay.
They say all these are broken, changed. But then it asks the crucial question, where did all these happen?
Right, where did the big bang bang?
Exactly. And the answer given is, everything happened in space.
POV.
Everything happened in empty space.
Wow. So the implication there is pretty huge. This empty space, this nothingness, it's not just there, it's fundamental, like the source of everything.
Precisely. That's the core message. Sunyam is God.
Sunyam is God.
Yes. Because everything, the whole universe, all of creation, it originates from and exists within this empty space. According to this source, there's really no alternative view. It's presented as a simple foundational truth.
So it's less about, a being with attributes and more about the ground zero of existence itself.
That's a good way to put it. The potential from which everything arises.
Okay. That's a major shift in perspective already. So we have this idea of sunyam as the fundamental reality, but then the source immediately pivots, doesn't it? It starts questioning how we even try to understand these big ideas.
It really does. It jumps right into a critique of how we usually acquire knowledge and why that might actually stop us from truly getting concepts like sunyam.
How so?
Well, it critiques relying on what it sees as superficial learning. That idea that 99 out of 100 people only get something, by the way, how it was taught or learned.
Just repeating things.
Kind of. And this applies even to people we might see as spiritual leaders. For example, the source talks about a mad guy who takes a vow of silence and then writes a book. But the implication is, while he's quiet on the outside, he's just chattering inside the mind. It suggests true silence, maybe for a writer or a poet, is this different kind of inner stillness, not just an outward act.
Interesting. So it's about the internal state, not putting on a show. What about intellectuals? Does the source take aim at them too?
Oh, definitely. It puts it pretty bluntly. Intellectual persons are crazy.
Okay. Strong words. Is there an example?
Yeah, there's this analogy about finding a bus. A literate person, someone taught the rules, looks only for the exact bus number, say 62,
Yeah.
because that's the rule they learned.
Right, even if other buses go the same way.
Exactly. Like a 62B or a 65C, they miss those. But an illiterate person, the source says, will ask for the neighbor to help in getting the bus. And often they get to where they're going faster.
Huh. So who's really being wise in that situation?
That's the question it raises, isn't it? It's a critique of rigid, learned knowledge versus practical, flexible wisdom.
Makes sense. And it doesn't stop there, does it? It also mentions judging people based on language or diet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The source really challenges those assumptions. People thinking, oh, this person doesn't know English, how could he be wise? Or he doesn't know Sanskrit, how could he possibly know God?
Yeah, you hear those kinds of judgments.
And it even hits on diet, asking pretty forcefully, damn it, how you know God, just because someone eats non-veg or even beef. The argument is that these external things, these societal boxes we put people in, they block understanding.
So the literate person may be feeling trapped by their high society label, actually can't understand God in this view.
Well, the illiterate person who knows the bus colors, the driver, the conductor, practical details they get there, it's about valuing that lived awareness over just codified knowledge.
Especially for something as profound as Soonyam. It's suggesting maybe our intellectual frameworks can sometimes be the biggest obstacle.
That seems to be a core point, yeah.
Now, the source gets even more provocative when it discusses historical figures. Its take on Buddha is, well, unconventional.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. The source says Buddha had introduced Soonyam, which is fairly standard.
Okay. But then it immediately flips the script. It says, he'd been tricksy and learned in Soonyam. They are teaching us wrong that he was righteous. It's not the case.
Tricksy. Wow. What's the reasoning behind that?
The source claims, controversially, that Buddha was not honest, primarily because he ignored his wife and children, left them.
Right, the great departure story.
Although, interestingly, the source also says he eventually understood the truth and came back to his family, but his wife didn't accept him. And then he realized that ignoring the family is crime.
Okay, so that's a very different narrative than the enlightened figure we usually picture. It's much more human, maybe flawed.
Definitely more complex and certainly challenges the idealized image.
Yeah.
And then it draws this direct comparison to us right now.
Oh.
It asks, quite plainly, have Buddha seen a 3D movie? Had he used a mobile phone?
Oh, well, obviously not.
Right. The point being, we experience all these modern comforts, these complex lives, but we still long for something more. And the source suggests, in some ways, you're more efficient than Buddha. More efficient, meaning?
Meaning we have access to so much more experience, more technology, more stuff. The only real difference, the source claims, is a difference in only understanding, not in our fundamental being compared to someone like Buddha.
That really makes you rethink how we pedestalize spiritual figures, doesn't it?
It does. And it sets the stage perfectly for the source's critique of modern gurus and spiritual teachers.
Ah, okay. So how does it view them?
With quite a bit of skepticism. It's highly critical of those who, say, stand and talk alma mater, basically showing off credentials, or those who sell nothingness for the sake of money.
Selling nothingness.
Yeah. It uses this vivid picture of a saint who just sits under a tree, says nothing, maybe makes some gestures.
And people gather around.
Exactly. They bring gifts, interpret the gestures as holy. The source then asks, kind of pointedly, if a person under the tree is getting more value, then what if he learns some languages and speak?
Implying it becomes a performance, a way to sell something.
Precisely. A way to sell a product without anything. A jab at the commercialization of spirituality.
That's a powerful critique. It suggests if you truly understood nothingness, you wouldn't be seeking status or money from it. You'd be humbled by it.
That seems to be the idea. And it goes further. Mocking teachers who keep their distance with bodyguards or won't allow questions.
Why?
Because, the source says, your speech is not light. This is one-way talk. It's not a real exchange. It even asks, referring to speakers like that, are you a dog?
A dog? Why a dog?
Because a dog won't act. It implies these teachers are just performing, not being authentic. Then it uses these almost absurd comparisons.
Where's what?
Like a hawk earning 10 lakh a month for chasing kangaroos off an airport runway.
Okay. Random.
Or army dogs getting royal respect for their service. The point seems to be highlighting the absurdity of valuing human teachers who sell nothingness so highly, maybe even more than animals performing actual tangible jobs.
It's a really provocative way to question the value we place on spiritual authority figures, especially when money gets involved.
Definitely shakes things up.
So if we can't rely on books, and we should be wary of gurus selling enlightenment, what is the path? How does the source suggest we actually understand or experience nothingness?
Right, that's the crucial question, and the source makes a very clear distinction. Just knowing and understanding nothingness is not enough.
Information isn't the answer.
No. It states only when you experience your quality and the levels changes. The experience is key.
And how do you get that experience?
Through yogic technique. That's the path offered. And the fundamental first step is given a name. Samvirukti Nirodha.
Samvirukti Nirodha, what does that mean?
It means to stop all the thoughts raising in your mind. Quieting that constant mental chatter. Not necessarily eliminating thought entirely, maybe, but stopping the uncontrolled arising of thoughts.
Okay, that sounds like a serious internal shift. Meditation or something similar.
Seems like it. The source emphasizes that a personal transformation is needed. To attain wisdom, it says, you should be Soonyam.
Nothingness.
Well, it uses this term, gyakuyam. Now, colloquially, that can mean like a fool.
Oh, so become a fool.
Not exactly. The source flips it. It clarifies wisdom is nothingness. It means becoming empty of those preconceived ideas, the knowledge that actually blinds you.
Ah, shedding assumptions.
Exactly. It even points out how our own personal experience might be wrong at times. There's this anecdote about finding money, say, in specific yellow bag or a cigarette box once.
Yeah.
And then you start expecting every yellow bag or cigarette box to have money. That past experience, even though it was real once, is not allowing me to meet the reality of the present moment. It creates a false expectation.
So it's about letting go of what you think you know based on the past, letting go of those patterns.
Precisely. You have to be open to reality as it is now. The source uses another analogy, putting charcoal in a fire.
Okay.
It won't get burnt but turn into a fire. You aren't destroyed by the truth or by nothingness.
Yeah.
You merge with it, become it.
Become the fire. That's a powerful image.
And this transformation fundamentally involves letting go of the ego. When you attain nothingness, your ego will fall off. Or maybe only when you leave your arrogance, you can reach God. They're linked.
Humility again?
Yes. And the source even mentions a specific happy life course that apparently explains birth, life, thoughts, happiness, and offers simple yoga techniques to attain nothingness, some apparently free of cost.
So practical steps are suggested linked to yogic practice and letting go of ego.
That seems to be the core recommendation for experiencing it, yes.
Okay, so experience trumps intellectual understanding, direct practice over theory. But how does this perspective view things like, say, poetry or spiritual songs? Are they just imagination too?
That's a good question. The source suggests a lot of poetry, even beautiful poetry, often comes from imagination rather than direct lived experience.
How so?
It uses this funny example, like a song lyric, clothes on you smell like a rose and jasmine.
Sounds nice.
Sure, but then the source bluntly asks, smell the armpit, it'll stink. Is that song true?
Uh-huh. Okay, point taken. A bit crude, but clear.
It also brings up a Mullah Nasruddin story. You know, the wise fool figure.
Yeah.
A husband and wife are watching a movie with a very happy couple on screen,
Yeah.
and the husband comments, "Even if I act with her, I'll be good."
Implying it's all just acting, not real happiness.
Exactly. The source uses this to suggest that poetry, or maybe art in general,
Huh?
can often be the reflection of nostalgia, a longing for something, maybe exaggerating things that haven't been truly deeply experienced.
So it can be beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, but it might not be truth born from experience. Does that apply to spiritual verses as well?
It seems to. The source discusses a specific Tamil verse, Vinadudaya Savana Potri, which means something like, "O Shiva, Lord of the Southland."
Okay.
But it clarifies that the Nadadu here doesn't literally mean South India. It's a critique of people taking these profound texts completely literally, missing the deeper, maybe symbolic meaning.
Right, getting stuck on the surface level again.
Mm-hmm. And similarly, it poses this question based on different poems. God is nothingness, Soonyam, or resonance, Nekama. Which one is right?
And the answer.
The source says both are correct. But, and this is the key part, we can't link one with another without the necessary experience. You need the inner understanding to see how both can be true simultaneously.
That reminds me so much of the up my recipe analogy the source uses. It feels connected.
Oh, that's a great connection. Yeah, the upma story. Someone tries to copy a friend's amazing upma.
Right. They see the ingredients, lentils, semolina, whatever.
They see it all, but they try to make it, and it just doesn't taste the same. And the solution isn't just to switch on the stove again or try harder with the same incomplete information.
You're missing something.
You're missing something, like maybe some crucial ginger juice in the story's example. The real solution, the source says, is simple. Ask that person for the recipe.
Admit you don't know and ask for direct guidance.
Exactly. It's about humility. Asking, probing, seeking guidance, instead of assuming you can figure it all out just by observing or reading the ingredients list, so to speak. Admitting you don't know is the first step.
This focus on humility, on direct seeking, it really does seem like the absolute core theme running through all of this.
It really is. And the source contrasts this with figures like Ramanar Maharshi, who is famously simple, wearing a loincloth and a towel. He didn't say, "I'll stand and talk only in mic."
No pretense.
No pretense, no arrogance, unlike those trying to impress. And it wraps up with this powerful quote from Thirumular, an ancient Tamil Siddhar.
What does it say?
There are two lines. Kol undu patron kuda paravegal, which means something like, if you hold on to one stick, or perhaps one idea, one limitation, the birds, maybe higher thoughts or freedom, won't gather.
Let go of limitations.
And the second line, Paul Andrew Petron Panbin Payan Kadum. Roughly, if you hold on to gender or any category like that, your essential quality will be destroyed or diminished.
Wow. So it's about letting go of all those limiting beliefs, gender, status, even the belief that you already know everything.
That seems to be the ultimate message, yeah. Shed the assumptions to find the truth.
What a journey through this material. It's really not just about defining nothingness, is it? It's about how our own minds, our habits, our societal ideas, how they can either completely block us or potentially open us up to something incredibly profound.
Absolutely. This deep dive, I think, really highlights that genuine wisdom, at least according to this source, isn't about piling up facts or looking spiritual. It's about shedding that ego, constantly questioning your assumptions and actually walking the path of direct experience. And there's a kind of reassurance offered too. The source says, nothingness is always stable. It always exists. It's not going anywhere.
And that everything you do is within God. If God is this nothingness.
Exactly. It's all happening within that fundamental reality.
So, thinking about that, what does it all mean for you listening right now? If, according to this source, God is nothingness, and this nothingness is eternal, stable, his existence is an eon, and everything you do is within God. then what does it really mean to live that happy life the Source mentions? What does it mean to truly understand yourself? Especially knowing that, as the Source also says, you can cheat the entire world but can't cheat yourself.
Yeah.
Something profound to maybe ponder as you continue your own deep dives into the world and into yourself.
Thank you for being here. May the grace of Guru Sivayogi Ayya shine through your inner journey. Like, share, and subscribe, and walk with us on this sacred path